Fun fact: the Toyota Camry is not an all-new car. Despite looking new, the car you see before you is essentially a very heavy refresh of the previous generation Camry. But Toyota has made some bold calls with the new Camry, the most important of which is that the brand's stalwart sedan is now hybrid only. The old 4-cylinder and V6 are gone, and what's left is an all-new generation of Toyota's hybrid system. So we got behind the wheel to find out if this was a stroke of genius or the Camry's death knell. The previous Camry hybrid wasn't exactly a class leader. If anything, it was a nice, honest offshoot from the Camry's appliance car roots and little more. Expectations, therefore, weren't exactly sky high. But after the first 10 yards it became clear it was wrong of us to give this particular car such a low glass ceiling. The changes Toyota has made flip the Camry's persona from uninspiring and dry into something genuinely worth driving and, dare we say it, fun. The hybrid system is the 5th generation of the powertrain that can trace its roots back to 2006. It takes a 2.5-litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder and pairs it with 2 electric motors, one for propulsion and one for energy recuperation. All-wheel drive models add a third e-motor to the back axle. There is no drive shaft between the front and rear ends, but more on that in a moment. Front-wheel drive Camrys now make 225 horsepower, while all-wheel drive models make 232 HP. Some of the other under-the-skin changes Toyota made include revised suspension dampers, new brake tuning, and a thicker rear stabilizer bar, all done as part of making the Camry more enjoyable to drive. Toyota has released EPI estimates for every new Camry model in both front and all-wheel drive configurations. The most efficient Camry you can buy is the new base LE trim with front-wheel drive. Thanks to smaller 16-inch wheels and low rolling resistance tires, it gets an EP estimated 51 mpg combined 53 city 50 highway. The least efficient Camry is the XSE with AWD. The biggest wheels you can get and tires that are ever so slightly stickier mean you can expect 44 mpg combined 44 city 43 highway. These numbers are about the same as what the last Camry hybrid achieved, but Toyota would be quick to point out that it achieved the same efficiency while adding a heap of both power and torque. Our first impression of the new Camry was a fully loaded XSE trim with front-wheel drive. The changes, though evolutionary, made a big difference. Despite being on relatively big 19-inch wheels, our test Camry rode over ruts, lumps and bumps with smoothness and crispness that didn't exist in the previous car. It now feels as though the suspension deals with road imperfections in one stroke as opposed to jittering away for a while as it regains composure. Its comfortable two impacts aren't felt so much as just heard, and they disappear as quickly as they came. We were able to bring our XSE test car to the test track. Here, it accelerated from 0 to 60 mph in 7/8 seconds. That's slower than the 7-second sprint to 60 we recorded from the hybrid version of the Accord, but a bit quicker than the last Hyundai Sonata we tested 8.3 seconds. Those who are looking for something with a little more pep in its step should consider the all-wheel drive model. All-wheel drive is available on every Camry trim from base LE all the way to the top trim XSE, and it makes a significant difference in seat-of-your-pants performance. Even though we haven't strapped our testing gear to an all-wheel drive model, it definitely feels quicker than the 232 horsepower Toyota says it makes. Inside, there's a very familiar feel to this car. There's a new steering wheel and a bigger and more prominent-looking infotainment screen. Cabin material quality is pretty much the same, which is to say durable but unremarkable. Toyota does trim top-spec models in a soft vegan leather it calls Softex. It's also on the doors and parts of the dash in XSE trim. Other variants get a neat cloth design on the dashboard that helps break up the massive horizontal span of black plastic that links the screen and the rightmost air vent. The rest of the cabin is classic Camry too. The controls are easy to reach and have a quality, almost Lexus-like feel to them. Pricing for the new Camry has been set, and believe it or not, the base LE hybrid is actually $455 cheaper than it was for 2024. The range starts at $29,495 and goes all the way up to $37,220 for a top trim XSE with all-wheel drive. Options can push the car to a touch over $40,000, right on par with the current top-spec Honda Accord. For some, that might be too much to stomach, but not to worry. The inherent goodness of this generation can be found in every trim. If you don't need every creature comfort, the base LE is a great value, a bargain even. You don't need to spend the biggest money to get the best powertrain or the best car. They're all just that darn good this time around.